Hello, my name is Elijah Lopez, and today is Uba's birthday. Yay! Actually, I lied. It's on 11th of May. Usually, when it comes to best friends, no matter how many times they tell you, you forget their birthdays. However, with Uba's, the only reason why I know his is because I jotted down on my calendar and made sure I had notifications. I'll be going over how I met Uba, what we do as friends, and why he's so important to me as a best friend. I met him during my sophomore year in high school. This was the year after COVID. After COVID, school was trying to become normal. In doing so, certain people would stay online while others would go face to face. I was one of the fortunate bunch that would go face to face. My mom was tired of me being in my room doing nothing and whatever. So yeah, same with my the audience members. Anyways, we went to face to face. In doing so, I didn't have a lot of friends. The friends I knew from middle school either went to different schools or they just straight up ignored me or whatever. So either way, I just didn't have a lot of friends. Like not very. Fast forward to my ELA class. That is where I missed two of my best friends. One of them, they're not Uba, but Uba's later on in the story. When I'm when I met these two best friends, this was almost the end of the first semester. This was the final project before winter break. One of these guys was Joel. Joel came into our group asking to join a group, and me and Mohammed, my other best friend, said we needed one more person, and he seemed chill, so we did. In doing so, we all figured out that we connected with each other, and we became pretty good friends. At a certain point, Joel mentioned that he was on the tennis team. In doing so, just trying to be a good friend, I wanted to be in tennis just to play with him, just to play, just I've never played a sport before, and tennis seemed fun, especially with friends. So we go. So during lunchtime, the tennis court wasn't too far from us. We would go out and play. In doing so, Uba being a friend and member of the tennis team, being a friend of Joel, was there to play with us. When I first met Uba, I'm not gonna lie, we didn't like each other at first. When we first glared at each other, we just knew something we just weren't gonna get along. However, we did become friends after that. The more times we played during lunch and before we met up in ELA. After that, we after that in not incident, but after that event, we became closer friends. So on throughout high school, we became closer and closer until we became best friends, and we went to prom together and graduated together in the class of 2024, 2025. After high school, we just decided to hang out whenever we were free, because we are in different colleges. We would decide whenever to go out to eat or play video games online, since that was the easiest way to schedule a meeting or hang out. Uber means so much to me because of those and especially when he became a best friend after COVID. I didn't have a lot of friends, as I mentioned earlier, and it was really hard to make friends. I am the kind of guy that kind of keeps to himself. I'm not saying I'm sad and lonely, whatever, but I keep to myself. And unless other people try to talk to me, I will not try to go. I will not try to go out to talk to them. I don't want to bother. I see myself bothersome if I try to talk to other people. However, Uba, Muhammad, and Joel, they came out to me, and they told me that in order to, find other friends, it doesn't have to be everyone. It could be just a certain much like my friends. Everyone says that, after high school you won't have a lot of friends. And that is true. Uba is one of those handful that I've really kept in contact with and I consider a best friend. We both carry the struggle of being the oldest sibling, where he has three brothers and I have two siblings in the audience, one brother, one sister. Barely tell, but yeah. Anyways, but Uba means so much to me because we've had the talk about being the oldest and also the future, where we both want to strive in the engineering field. I want to be electrical. He wants to be a mechanical or chemical engineer, which is really hard. We both stuck with each other for a while, and we plan to stick on stick with each other for longer. Happy birthday, Uber.